Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Tickers. We are diving into earnings season with our weekly preview. And let's just get right into it because we have a really packed week ahead of us.
Oh, yeah. A global lineup, big pharma, all the way from Denmark to electric vehicle giants over in Japan. And of course, some tech innovators right here in the U.S.
So much to unpack. We're going to go day by day and give you a heads up on what to watch.
Yeah.
So you can, be ready for the week ahead.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So Monday, November 4th kicks off with a few heavy hitters. Right off the bat, we've got Vertex Pharmaceuticals, and they're really a leader in cystic fibrosis treatment. Last year, they just blew past earnings estimates, hitting $3.67 per share.
Wow, impressive.
But it's not just about making treatments. They're really trying to push the boundaries of what's possible in healthcare.
You're right about that. And actually, their commitment to gene editing is something I find fascinating. They're not just trying to manage cystic fibrosis. They're actually looking for a cure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a bold strategy for sure. So this earnings call, I think, could give us some insight into how those efforts are progressing.
Yeah, beyond just beating those earnings estimates, investors are going to be watching for updates on that gene editing pipeline, because that's where the truly groundbreaking potential lies.
Absolutely. And speaking of groundbreaking, Monday also brings us Palantir Technologies, the data analytics and software company. They seem to have their fingers in everything these days.
It seems that way, doesn't it?
From defense to disaster relief. I mean, they've sparked a lot of debate. Some praise them for their innovative approach to data analysis, while others have some concerns about privacy and also the implications of their government contracts.
For sure, a lot of discussion around Palantir.
But last year, they came in at 3 cents a share. And this year, they're expected to hit 5 cents.
Okay, not bad.
But I think the real story here goes beyond the numbers. Right.
Absolutely. I mean, what's really intriguing about Palantir is their ability to secure these massive government contracts, especially in areas like defense and intelligence.
So this earnings call could be pretty revealing. How are those contracts translating into actual revenue?
Yeah, are they actually gaining traction in those new commercial sectors?
And it's a company that thrives on complexity, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say.
Definitely.
All right, so Monday keeps rolling on with a few more companies that you might recognize. Constellation Energy. Big player in the energy sector. Last year, they earned $2.26 per share. We also have Zoetis, the animal health company.
Keeping our furry friends healthy.
Exactly. They pulled in $1.36 per share last year. And finally, Marriott International, the hospitality giant. They reported earnings of $2.11 per share last year.
Wow. So Monday's really giving us a taste of everything. Healthcare, energy.
Yeah.
Consumer discretionary, and even a glimpse into that world of data analytics.
Yeah, I mean, it could reshape entire industries. Who knows?
It's true. It's a great reminder that even on a single day, the market offers a window into so many different sectors. It's like a microcosm of the global economy playing out right before our eyes.
Yeah, pretty amazing when you think about it. Okay, so Tuesday, November 5th. It feels like the market's decided to throw a party. The guest list is all about high performance and potential comebacks. First up, we've got Ferrari, the luxury car brand that basically invented the concept of aspirational. Last year, they delivered an impressive EPS of $1.98. But the question is, can they keep those engines roaring in the face of, a changing automotive landscape?
That is the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? But what makes Ferrari interesting is that they operate in such a specific niche. But they're not competing with mass market automakers. They're selling a lifestyle, an experience.
Yeah, it's more than just a car.
Right. So this earnings call is going to be less about unit sales and more about brand strength, pricing power, and their ability to maintain that aura of exclusivity.
For sure, for sure. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have Coupang, the South Korean e-commerce giant. They've been making waves, but also facing some choppy waters lately. Last year, they actually reported a loss with an EPS of negative 5 cents.
Ooh, it's rough.
Yeah, but, this is a company that's been aggressively expanding, battling it out with some of the biggest names in e-commerce.
Yeah, they're not afraid of a challenge. What I find fascinating about Coupang, though, is their laser focus on customer experience. They've invested so much in building a reputation for fast delivery and excellent service.
Yeah, they've definitely made a name for themselves. So this earnings call will be crucial in determining whether that strategy is paying off.
Especially as competition in that e-commerce space just keeps intensifying.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, are you ready for a rapid fire round? Because Tuesday is just getting started.
Hit me with it.
We've also got reports from Apollo Global Management. taking us into the world of private equity.
High rollers.
Exactly, where investors with deep pockets are always hunting for the next big deal. Then we've got Thomson Reuters, the information and media giant. They keep the world's news flowing and provide data that drives so many critical decisions. Emerson Electric, a company that's been a leader in industrial automation for over a century.
Wow, over a century. That's incredible to think about the scope of their impact. They're deeply embedded in the infrastructure of our modern world.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They've been there through every major industrial revolution, and we're not done yet. We've got Marathon Petroleum, one of the biggest oil refiners in the U.S. MPLX LP, a midstream energy company that plays a key role in getting oil and gas products to market. Cummins Inc., known for their engines and power generation systems. They power everything from trucks to data centers.
That's a lot of power.
And to round things out, we have Microchip Technology, a key player in the semiconductor space, and Gartner, the research and advisory company. That helps businesses navigate the ever-changing tech landscape.
Wow, you weren't kidding about the rapid fire. Tuesday is all about variety. We're getting a glimpse into everything, from high finance to the nuts and bolts of industrial production, and of course the ongoing energy transition.
Yeah, it's a day that truly reflects the interconnected nature of the global economy. Phew, I need a breather after that one.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot of ground to cover. Wednesday is shaping up to be a day of global giants. And we'll jump right into that in our next part.
Sounds good. I'm ready when you are. All right, so Wednesday, November 6th. This is when we really start to see the global stage light up. Kicking things off, we have Novo Nordisk, the Danish pharmaceutical company. You know, they've been making headlines with their weight loss drug, Wegovy.
Oh yeah, Wegovy's been everywhere.
Right, and their stock has been on a tear. But the question is, can their earnings keep up with all the hype? Last year, they reported an EPS of 73 cents.
It's been a game changer for sure. Tapped into a massive market, captured the attention of everyone, investors, consumers alike. But you know what's important to remember here is that Novo Nordisk, they're not a one-trick pony.
Exactly. They've been a leader in diabetes care for decades, and that expertise is a huge part of their success with Wegovy.
So this earnings call,
Yeah.
it's going to be about more than just Wegovy sales figures.
Right. Investors are going to be looking for signs of growth across their entire portfolio, especially in their diabetes and obesity treatment segment.
For sure. And speaking of global giants, Wednesday also brings us Toyota, the iconic Japanese automaker. Last year, they reported strong earnings with an EPS of $6.54. But we all know the auto industry is going through a major transformation right now.
Absolutely. The shift towards electric vehicles is happening faster than many anticipated, and Toyota has been, somewhat cautious in their approach.
So this earnings call could give us some clues about their EV strategy.
Yeah, their plans for scaling up production and how they're navigating those challenges. Supply chains, battery technology.
So it's not just about how many cars they sold last quarter. It's about their vision for the future of mobility.
Exactly. And speaking of the future of tech, Wednesday also features Qualcomm, the chip maker that's powering a lot of the devices we use every day.
Oh yeah, well, Qualcomm.
Last year, they reported earnings of $1.59 per share.
Qualcomm is kind of like the unsung hero of the tech world. They're not always in the spotlight, but their chips are essential. Smartphones, laptops, connected cars.
Pretty much everything, yeah. What makes Qualcomm particularly interesting right now is their role in 5G. They're a leader in 5G modem technology, and that's going to be a key driver of growth for them as 5G networks continue to roll out globally.
So this earnings call will be a good indicator of the pace of 5G adoption.
Yeah, and how effectively Qualcomm is capitalizing on that trend.
Okay, and Wednesday continues to highlight the global reach of the markets. We've got Mercado Libre, the Latin American e-commerce giant, giving us a peek into the growth of online shopping in another key region, plus a few more heavy hitters reporting that day. Gilead Sciences, a major player in pharmaceuticals, with a focus on antiviral treatments and oncology. CVS Health, the pharmacy and healthcare giant that seems to be expanding its reach every day. McKesson, a leader in healthcare distribution.
A sector that's been in the spotlight during the pandemic for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, Williams Companies, a key player in the energy infrastructure space, particularly in natural gas pipelines.
Wednesday is like a masterclass in global economics, highlighting the interconnectedness of everything: healthcare technology, consumer behavior, energy markets.
There's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's also incredibly fascinating.
All right, ready to shift gears. Thursday, November 7th is all about tech and energy, two sectors that are always pushing the boundaries of innovation. And we'll kick things off with Arista Networks, a leader in cloud networking solutions. They had a strong performance last year with earnings per share of $1.63.
Arista is a company that's perfectly positioned for the growth of cloud computing. They provide that high-performance networking equipment that cloud providers need to keep those massive data centers running smoothly.
So their earnings will be a good gauge of the continued growth of cloud services.
Yeah, and how much businesses are investing in their digital infrastructure.
And speaking of companies that benefit from the digital boom, Thursday also brings us Airbnb, the travel and hospitality platform that's basically become a verb at this point. Last year, they had a bit of a dip in earnings, reporting $2.39 per share. But with travel rebounding, the question is, can they regain their momentum?
Airbnb's success is tied to consumer confidence and spending on travel and experiences.
So this earnings call will give us insight into how quickly travel is recovering.
Yeah, are people willing to spend on those unique stays? And how are they competing with traditional hotels?
All right, now let's switch gears to the energy sector with Petróleo Brasileiro, better known as Petrobras, the Brazilian oil giant. Last year, they reported earnings of 86 cents per share.
Petrobras is one of the biggest oil producers in the world, and their earnings are always closely watched because they can have a real impact on global energy prices.
So this quarter, investors will be looking for clues about their production levels, how they're managing costs, and their plans for navigating the energy transition. Okay, ready for another round of rapid-fire company highlights? Because Thursday is still going strong.
Bring it on!
We also have reports from Duke Energy, a leading energy provider in the U.S. with a growing focus on renewables. Motorola Solutions, known for their mission-critical communications technology, used by first responders and public safety agencies. TransDigm Group, a supplier of highly engineered components for the aerospace industry.
Wow, think about it. Their parts are flying all over the world right now.
It's amazing to consider how much we rely on companies like TransDigm Group without even realizing it.
They're a crucial part of that global aerospace supply chain.
We also have EOG Resources, an independent oil and gas company known for their focus on shale production, air products, and chemicals, a global supplier of industrial gases, used in everything from healthcare to manufacturing. And rounding things out, we have Becton Dickinson, a leading medical technology company that's been on the front lines of the pandemic, providing essential medical supplies and diagnostics.
Thursday really does feel like a microcosm of the global economy. We're seeing the interplay of technology, energy industrials, and healthcare, all reflecting those complex forces shaping the world around us. So Friday, November 8th is going to wrap up our earnings week with a pretty diverse lineup. It reminds us that there are investment opportunities across all corners of the market.
Yeah, definitely not a bad way to end the week. First up, we've got TELUS Corporation, the Canadian telecommunications company. They reported an EPS of 19 cents last year.
TELUS is a major player up in Canada, and their earnings will give us a good sense of things like subscriber growth, pricing trends, and the competitive landscape in that region.
And they've also been investing a lot in 5G and fiber optic networks, so it'll be interesting to see how that's progressing.
Absolutely. All right, and for our final company of the week, we have Brookfield Renewable Partners, a global player in renewable energy. They actually reported a loss last year with an EPS of negative 14 cents.
Brookfield Renewable is one to watch for sure. I mean, they're at the forefront of the energy transition, operating a portfolio of hydroelectric, wind and solar assets all around the world.
It's a pretty impressive portfolio.
So this earnings call will be a good opportunity to gauge the progress of their projects.
Yeah, are they able to secure those long-term contracts? And how are they managing costs, especially in such a rapidly evolving industry?
Lots to consider there. And just to round out the week, we've got a few more companies reporting on Friday. Oryx Corp, the Japanese financial services company, they earned $1.94 per share last year. NRG Energy, a U.S.-based energy company, with earnings of $1.62 per share last year. And Baxter International, a global healthcare company, that reported earnings of 68 cents per share last year.
Each of those companies offers a little glimpse into different sectors of the market. Oryx gives us insight into the Japanese financial landscape. NRG Energy reflects the dynamics of the U.S. energy market. And Baxter International provides a window into the global healthcare industry.
And to keep things rolling, we've got RB Global, a consumer goods conglomerate. They earned 30 cents per share last year. Then there's Paramount Global, a leading media and entertainment company, with earnings of 30 cents per share last year.
Yeah, RB Global's performance can reveal some interesting things about consumer spending patterns and brand loyalty, and Paramount's earnings shed light on the changing media landscape and the growth of those streaming services.
Okay, and finally to wrap up the week, we have CNH Industrial, a manufacturer of agricultural and construction equipment. They came in at 42 cents per share last year. Lamar, advertising and outdoor advertising company, with earnings of $2.04 per share last year. And last but not least, Advanced Drainage Systems, a leader in water management solutions, reporting earnings of $1.71 per share last year.
CNH Industrial's results. They can reflect those global trends in infrastructure spending and agricultural commodity prices. Lamar Advertising. They can offer some insights into advertising spending and consumer sentiment. And Advanced Drainage Systems. They can highlight trends in infrastructure development and water resource management. It's a fascinating mix of companies to end the week.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was a whirlwind tour of earnings week. We covered a lot of ground, but hopefully you're feeling a little more informed and maybe even a little bit inspired to dig deeper into some of these companies.
Always exciting to see the market come alive during earnings season. It's a chance to learn to analyze and to maybe even spot some hidden gems.
And with that being said, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive for this week.
All right, sounds good.
You know, as always, we encourage you to do your own research, stay informed, and be sure to tune in next week for a recap of all the highlights and lowlights from earnings week. Until then, happy investing, everyone.
See you next time.